Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we are diving into the AI News Digest for January 30th, 2026. And look, this might be the day we remember as the moment the AI industry basically started to eat itself alive. We are talking about a massive, fundamental shift, and it is happening right now. So, let's get into it.
We're going to start with a number that should honestly send a chill down your spine. $14 billion. That's the projected annual loss for the company that, up until now, has been seen as the undisputed king of the AI race. This one figure, this is the thread that connects everything we're about to unpack today. A crazy high-stakes war for tech dominance, a gold rush for the very infrastructure that powers AI, and really, a battle for the soul of our digital world.
And that brings us to our first major topic, the frontier model wars. The rivalry between the big AI labs has hit a fever pitch, And the very definition of what an AI model is, well, that's being rewritten as we speak. We are witnessing a massive leap from simple chatbots to something way more profound, AI as architects.
What's so wild here is the seismic shift in what everyone's aiming for. We've moved way beyond just making the AI have a higher IQ. The new challenge? It's all about system-level redesign. You've got Google's Gemini 3.5 aiming to build entire apps, OpenAI's GPT-5.2 tackling cybersecurity, and Anthropic's Claude pioneering what they call agentic workflows, which is basically AI that can handle complex multi-step jobs all on its own. The game has totally changed from answering trivia questions to literally architecting our digital reality.
And this is where it gets really interesting. A huge leak from Google today just pulled back the curtain on something called Snow Bunny. Get this, it's a model that can take a single simple prompt and spit out over 3,000 lines of fully working code to build a complete Nintendo Game Boy emulator. I mean, this isn't just about writing a few lines of code, it's about designing an entire system, from memory management to display pipelines, in one single, breathtaking pass.
So, how does it do this? What's the secret sauce? Well, it's a mechanism they're calling System2 Reasoning. The best way to think about it is like the AI is taking a deep breath and actually thinking before it acts. Instead of just blurting out the first answer that comes to mind, it's forced to pause, deliberate, and look at the problem from all angles. Just like a seasoned human engineer would. This is the jump from solving a little coding puzzle to architecting a skyscraper.
And this slide right here, it just lays bare the massive tension that is tearing the entire industry apart. On one side, you've got Google's incredible technical achievement with Snow Bunny, boasting an 80% success rate on ridiculously hard reasoning tests. And on the other side, you have OpenAI staring down the barrel of a $14 billion projected loss. The takeaway is crystal clear. Google is weaponizing its tech superiority to start a brutal price war, leaving OpenAI in a desperate fight for its financial life.
But look, this software war isn't happening in some abstract digital cloud. It's a battle that needs a physical footprint on a scale that is just hard to imagine. And that brings us to the infrastructure gold rush, this frantic race to build the massive AI factories that are going to power this whole new era.
$135 billion. Just let that number sink in. That is the upper range of what Meta plans to spend on AI infrastructure in 2026 alone. To give you some perspective, that's nearly double what they invested last year, and it's more than the GDP of a lot of countries. The scale of this build-out, it's unlike anything we have ever seen before.
And this quote from Mark Zuckerberg, it really tells you everything you need to know about the grand strategy here. It's total vertical integration. Meta isn't just happy building AI models. Nope, they're building their own private internet, complete with a multi-billion-dollar deal for Corning fiber optics just to connect their data centers. The endgame? Own the data, own the models, own the pipes, own it all.
You're going to want to get used to this term because you'll be hearing it all year. The AI factory. This is a fundamental shift in how people are thinking. It's no longer about just buying computing power. It's about building these massive end-to-end ecosystems where data tokens are the raw material you put in and autonomous intelligence is the finished product that comes out, manufactured at an industrial scale.
But see, these AI factories, they need a whole new kind of engine. For years, general-purpose GPUs have been the undisputed kings of AI. But now, even NVIDIA is signaling a major pivot. By licensing technology from a company called Grok, they're betting that the future of actually running AI models, a process we call inference, is in specialized, super-efficient chips called ASICs. The era of one-size-fits-all hardware is officially over.
So all of this massive investment in digital brains is leading to one single inevitable conclusion.
AI is breaking out of the digital world and into our physical reality. We are right on the cusp of a revolution of bots, bodies, and brains that are going to walk, talk, and interact with the world right alongside us. This quote just perfectly captures the moment we're in right now. Just like ChatGPT made complex language models available to everyone, a new wave of tech is finally cracking the code on physical common sense. You know, that intuitive understanding of how objects work, how to walk through a cluttered room, and how to react to the totally unpredictable nature of the real world.
So what does this actually look like? Well, for self-driving cars, it's the difference between a car that just recognizes a stop sign and a car that can actually reason about why it's stopping, thinking about traffic, pedestrians, and other potential dangers. NVIDIA's new open-source platform, Alpamayo, actually lets a vehicle explain its own decision-making process, which is a breakthrough that could finally unlock the door to getting these things approved by regulators and trusted by the public.
And believe me, this revolution goes way beyond our roads. Humanoid robots are not just lab experiments anymore. The legendary Atlas robot from Boston Dynamics is now working on the assembly line at a Hyundai factory. Over in China, robots like the Unitree H1 are getting ready for their big debut at the Spring Festival Gala. Make no mistake, these are not science projects anymore. They are the new workforce.
Okay, so with AI this powerful, this smart, and now literally walking among us, a battle for control isn't just going to happen. It's already here. And this brings us to the core of the conflict, the collusion between the breakneck speed of AI adoption and the desperate, maybe even hopeless struggle to put some guardrails in place. This chart, wow, it shows what you might call a terrifying governance gap. A staggering 81% of organizations are already using AI, but a full quarter of them, a full 25%, are doing it with absolutely no framework for managing these incredibly powerful systems. The question is no longer if we can build AI, but how we stop it from running wild. And this governance gap has ignited an absolute regulatory firestorm. This timeline shows a dramatic escalation in the fight for control. On January 1st, new AI laws in California and Texas kicked in. Just 10 days later, the White House drops a bombshell, an executive order designed to crush these state laws, complete with a DOJ task force and the threat of pulling federal funding. This is a constitutional showdown in the making. Now, in the middle of all this regulatory chaos, a bipartisan bill called the TRAIN Act has popped up. Its purpose is both simple and revolutionary: to give copyright owners the legal firepower to subpoena AI companies and force them to reveal if their work was used to train these massive models. This could be the key that finally unlocks the black box of AI training data. And that brings us to our final, and to be honest, most terrifying section. As these AI systems become more autonomous, more persuasive, and more deeply woven into our lives, we are facing a threat that strikes at the very heart of what it means to be human. This quote from a brand new paper in the journal Science should really stop you in your tracks. It is a warning about the rise of AI swarms, coordinated armies of AI personas that can slip into online communities, create the illusion of grassroots support for any cause, and manipulate public opinion at a speed and scale that is just impossible for humans to even comprehend. The researchers have given this a name: synthetic consensus. This is a threat that goes so far beyond fake news. We are now dealing with fake people, AI agents that can learn, adapt, and tailor their arguments in real time to be as persuasive as possible. In this new world, how can we ever know where a real social movement ends and a synthetic one begins?
And the warnings from those on the inside are getting more and more dire. I mean, people like the CEO of Anthropic are now openly talking about risks that used to be just science fiction. Things like AI-enabled mass bioterrorism, the creation of a permanent human underclass, and even deliberately poisoning data to cripple the AIs of the future. We are, without a doubt, in the turbulent and frankly terrifying adolescence of this technology.
Which brings us to the final and most unsettling question of all. As AI gets better and better at manufacturing reality and engineering this world of synthetic consensus, the challenge isn't just about telling fake information from real information anymore. The challenge for every single one of us is this: how do we tell the real people from the fake?